Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I wanted to take a minute and share with you this wish experience that I'm having right now because it has been one of the most moving wish granting experiences that I've had yet. So, to give you some background, Wish Kid's name is Michael. Packet tells me that he is a 9-year-old who is nonverbal and epileptic. So that means that showing up at the Wish Kid's house, the conversation is going to be with mom. And that's fine because moms know really what their kids need and what their kids want. And I'm happy to communicate with them and find out what's what. So I drive down to the neighborhood in Opa-locka to meet them. And when I show up in the house, it looks like somebody had just ransacked it. There's holes in the wall, furniture's broken. And mom's there to greet me and say hi. And when I walk in, I say hello, I meet Michael, and Michael is running around the house. His brain is revved up as fast as it can go. So he's bouncing all over everything, and he destroys things, and he's breaking stuff. And it's possible that he might be autistic, but because he's nonverbal, it's hard to tell really if there's any other behavioral issues. But he's revved up and racing. Now, he's been this way since he's been born, and of course, as I'm talking to mom, trying to figure out, who she is and get a little bit more of an idea about her struggle. She's telling me all the things that are going on in Michael's life, and that, of course, as I've told you, he's epileptic, and then he doesn't stop bouncing on things. And when I tell you that he's bouncing on things, this is a highly active 9-year-old boy who goes from hello, how are you, to, and he doesn't say hello, how are you, because it's nonverbal, but he greets you with a gesture, and then he's from floor to kitchen table to countertop, and mom can't hold on to him because he wants to go. His brain's revved up. So now this kind of atmosphere doesn't really shake me, and but I can't really communicate to mom because Mike won't stop. And she's holding on to him, and while she's holding on to him and talking to me and smiling and telling me about how she wants to become a nurse and she's going to school, and I ask her, when does Michael not run around at 85 miles an hour? She's like, oh, when he's sleeping. Okay, well, but when does he get his seizures? Well, when he's sleeping. So in my head, because I know what it's like to raise a critically ill kid, now I know that she hasn't had a good night's rest in 9 years. And the whole time she's telling me the story about Michael, she's smiling. And she's expressing how grateful she is because of how bad it could have turned out. And I'm walking out of her house that day feeling emotional and, of course, grateful because, you can't walk out of an experience like that and complain about any of the problems you have. So the challenge was that I needed paperwork to get completed. The organization is a fantastic entity, but there is a corporate side, and we have paperwork that we have to do. And taking Michael to Disney World or a travel wish isn't going to really work. So what it turned out to be is that it's going to be a shopping spree. So I tell mom, tell me what he needs. What do you think he'd like? And of course, there's the regular video game stuff, and there's we thought of a tablet with a special case on it that it wouldn't break. But she's not really understanding what we do at the foundation. She's like, well, okay, you're gonna buy us stuff. I said, well, send me a link with the things that you want. At least then I can get an idea, and then I can expand it and enhance it. And she sends me something that was worth like $50. Now, I don't want to tell her that it could be thousands of dollars to spend, but I also need her to get me a little more. So I try to talk to her a little more, and she sends me a few more things. But we need paperwork. And I can't sit down and write out what Michael wants and write down my notes because he's jumping all over me, which is fine, but I can't do that at the same time. So I leave. Then it becomes more of a logistical strategy, right? Mom can fill out the paperwork. I'm happy to drive down to Miami and see if I can give up an hour of my day. It's not that I don't work. It's just that I'll move the work to a different spot if showing up or giving up an hour of my day will help change this family's life. So yesterday I do that. And I show up at Michael's house and I pick up paperwork. And Mom is not really, she looks a little different, seems to be acting a little different, and asking her what's going on. Turns out Michael got put on a new medicine about 3 weeks ago and started to talk again. And or talk again, really talk for the first time. And now he's going to learn how to talk, and he's seeing speech pathologist, and the medication's helping with the seizures, and they got cut down from almost 95 seizures at nighttime to about 30, and he's able to act a little bit more normal, which means that he has a better chance of a normal life. And while Mom and I are talking about this, she's not breaking character. She wasn't acting as excited as I felt and as excited as I thought she was. But what happens is, when you're so used to living a life where it can turn to chaos at any moment, you don't get to just shut that off. And there's still seizures and there's still chaos, but the magic in it is that he's talking, and I have the paperwork, and now we get to go shop. And it's not just that it's so grounding, where she's taking the things that are happening to her and still smile. It's that she's not asking for toys, right? She wants toys, but she needs things like a weighted vest, a weighted blanket, so they can get some sleep. 9 years in panic is an unbelievable way to live your life. And being able to spend some time with her where she is smiling, and where I'm able to see real struggle, and then bring smiles to that, is something that I'm grateful for. And I wanted to take a minute, or 7 of them, and share the experience with you. If you're having some difficulties in your life, remember that there's families like Michael's, and remember that things will get better. They can get better. Stay grateful. Have a great weekend. And if at any point you feel like joining the foundation or becoming a volunteer, send me an email, send me a message. It's really easy. If you're not sure you want to be around kids with critical illness, there's other ways to help. There's events, and there's just so many avenues to help the foundation and help these critically ill kids and their families, that you can find reward anywhere. Have a great day. Stay grateful. Probably said that to you 25 times in this message. And I'll talk to you soon.